everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Corporate DD. And in this video, we are going to discuss all the questions that were asked in today's interview. What all are the questions that were asked in Accenture interview for the phase two? We will discuss all the questions. I have gathered these questions from the candidates. So, these are the real experiences of the candidates. They have shared their questions, what were asked in the Accenture interview. So, if you are someone who are having your Accenture interview in the upcoming days or in next slots, then do watch this video very carefully because in this video I will discuss all the questions that were asked to the candidates. So it will be a real interview questions. It is not someone who is guessing that these kind of questions can be asked, but these are the questions which are interviewers are asking to the candidates. So without wasting time, we will move further. But before that, make sure you like this video and do subscribe my channel for the latest updates and more such interview preparation and exam tips and all. Okay. So, overview I will give you. So, I have collected multiple of real interview experience that were shared today for the Accenture phase 2 interviews, and they are following the same pattern as the phase 1. So, you don't need to panic. And more than 100 plus interview experiences were there, and I have gathered all the question and answers from them and just make a little short video because most of the questions are repeated. So I really collected with so many of students. Okay, so guys, do watch this video because it will help you if you are having your Accenture interview. Okay, and yeah, there is no surprise, no drastic change, same template as the Accenture was taking. It was same as usual. No something surprising came to anyone. Okay, so actual duration of the interview remains as around 10 to 15 minutes. For example, one of the candidate whose interview started at 10:30 ends at 10:45, and total duration is about 15 minutes. For some candidates, there is they waited in the lobby, but no one came. So I have asked them to drop a mail to the concerned team. So this thing also happens with many candidates. So don't panic on that. Don't worry on that. They will reschedule your interview if this happens. If you are waiting for so long in lobby and you haven't got the chance to give your interview, then no worries, guys. Do raise the ticket. Okay. So very uh, basic questions that were asked to every interviewer was about self introduction. This was the very first question, and you have to answer it in short, structured, resume aligned manner. Okay. Then they have asked the CV based question. Like CV based questions means if someone have done their internship in Salesforce or something, so they have asked him about the Salesforce thing. If someone has done their internship in AI, so they have asked him about some AI concepts. Okay. Then if someone is having work experience, even if it is having non-IT experience, they have asked the question. Even if it's from IT, they have asked the question. So if you are someone who are having your experience in non-IT as well, then you have to answer this question. Yes, you have this experience in this field, this domain. Okay. Then questions were there from the certification sites and whatever the skills they have mentioned. So the most important thing is anything that you have written in your CV must be known thoroughly. So if you have written anything in your CV, you should know the answer. You should know valid answers for that questions or that topic. Okay. Now, project based questions, these were the most important questions that were asked in 90 to 95% of the interviews. And the very first question which come just after your introduction was about this only, the project based question. So these are the project based questions which were asked, like to explain your major project, then what you have learned from your project. These kind of questions were asked. The technologies used, what are the challenges that you faced, and the challenges, how you solved them. Was it a group project or an individual project? How did you manage the project in a team? So these are the questions which were asked, and project discussion alone takes 50% of the interview. This was the feedback which is shared by most of the candidates. Like, yes, Didi, they have asked for about 7 to 8 minutes about just my project, nothing else, just they focus on my project. So these are the questions which are they are asking from the project. So guys, if you are someone who are having your interview in the next slots, do prepare your project very well because the project is the main part in your interview. Okay, and make sure you like this video if you have watched till here. Okay, and do share with your friends as well and subscribe the channel. Now they have asked other questions from the conceptual and methodology questions. So in that they have asked about agile versus waterfall model. What is agile model, what is waterfall model, which methodology is better and why. So you have to give the differences, a comparison between both of them. Then why did you choose a particular approach, why you haven't chosen agile, or why you have chosen waterfall. So these kind of things were asked in the interview. The next question is on opinion and discussion based questions. So in these kind of questions, there is nothing right, nothing wrong. The interviewer just check your thinking ability and communication skills. So these were the questions which were asked. How do you see AI in the future? So in that, they just want to check your communication skills, your thinking ability, how much you can think, and what exactly you think. Like, look, if I ask someone who is studying in class fifth, what is AI? So his explanation will be different. And if I ask the same question to you guys who have, done their engineering and BTech, your answer should be different. Okay. So like this, they are actually judging you. There is nothing right, nothing wrong. Obviously, fifth class boy is also giving the same definition of AI, but you are also giving, but how you are explaining actually matters in that kind of question. Okay. So I hope this question is very clear to you guys. Sometimes you come like, Didi, I have answered everything, but still they haven't selected me. So this is the reason why they haven't selected you. Now, can AI replace humans? So in this, you don't have to get biased. Yes, it will replace. No, it won't replace. No, in these kind of question, try to keep yourself as neutral. What I think it can and it cannot be. So like this, you have to answer so that it will remain in the mid. Okay. Now your views on the emerging technology. So from that, they want to know about you, about your like thinking ability, about your communication skills. Are you aware of your job role or not? These kind of things usually asked. Okay. And these kind of question usually turns into short discussion, not rapid questioning. Why? Because let's suppose आपने कह दिया कि yes, AI can replace humans. So now he will answer ask question. If AI will replace human, then why are you applying for Accenture? Again you will answer. So you think AI will replace, but how you can say AI will replace? If AI will replace human, then what human will do? So these kind of cross question will start coming, and which leads to a short discussion basically. So it won't be a rapid fire kind of question. The next kind of questions which were asked are from behavioral and situation questions, and they were asked from 80 to 90% candidates. Okay. So have you worked in a team? This is also basically inside the project kind of thing. Okay. How you handle the conflicts in the team, how you manage challenges, why do you want to join Accenture. So these were the behavioral questions which were asked to the candidates in technical round itself. Then most of the candidates were asked like, do you have any question for me? So most of the students get stuck here, so I have already told in my previous video what actually you have to ask. Okay. So prepared one or two smart questions that I have already told you कि तुम्हें क्या पूछना है, so that you will get an idea कि हाँ मेरा इंटरव्यू क्लियर हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. Okay. The next thing, the technical question. The technical question part was very less, around 10 to 20% cases, and it is like mostly linked to your projects or skills if you have done any internship or something like that. So they have asked in that case. Okay. So most of the things like MERN stack, because that guy has written the MERN stack in his CV and the project also. So that's why he was asked about MERN stack. So you don't need to worry कि मेरे से भी MERN stack पूछेंगे. No, it is not possible कि आपसे MERN stack पूछ ले. But yes, if you have written in your CV, then it is possibility that they can ask. Okay. Then React basics and Node.js, OOPS concept. Yeah, OOPS concept and SQL is something which can be asked to anyone. Okay, it's not mandatory ki if you haven't written, they won't ask. This is very basic concept which can be asked to anyone. Okay, and nothing deep in technical. Okay, it was just very small questions from the technical side. So guys, don't worry about the technical part. Technical part पूछ ही नहीं रहे, ठीक है? Now, the special note to the candidates who have done like phase two interview also include candidates whose interview were earlier cancelled, candidates whose communication assessment was rescheduled. So see, mixing interview schedules is normal. So if you are getting mixed schedules, it is very normal. You don't have to worry on these kind of things. I have already told you about that. Okay. Now, what you have to prepare, how you have to prepare, the preparation strategy, what you have to keep. So keep your CV 100% clarity. What I mean to say by this, if you have written even a single word in your CV, you should know about it. Okay. Project, you should have a deep understanding of your project. Behavioral and situation answers I have already given you. Basic company knowledge, ki why I want to join Accenture, what Accenture actually do, what are the projects that Accenture is handling. So these are the things. Then light technical revision, mostly related to your project. So these things you have to prepare. Then don't go unprepared, don't ignore basics, prepare smartly and based on the pattern as I showed you today. Okay. So yeah guys, this is us for today, and I hope this video have helped you help you lot. So if it helped you a lot, then don't miss to like the video and do subscribe my channel so that you won't miss the further updates that are coming from the side of Accenture, Infosys, Cognizant, or any of the companies which are currently hiring. So yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.